My competitors just lowered their price to $49, so I guess I have to go down to $45 to get the sale.
Stop. You are digging your own grave. Alex Hormozi opens $100 air offers by explaining that the race to the bottom leads to bankruptcy. If you want to get rich, you don't lower the price, you increase the value. Today, we break down the formula that let Hormozi charge $40,000 for a service others sold for $500.
Welcome you to Wealth Distilled. Today we are strapping in for a really high-intensity, deeply tactical deep dive into Alex Hormozi's manifesto.
That's right. It's $100 offers. How to make offers so good people feel stupid saying no.
And it really is that powerful.
It is. I mean, this book is truly the pricing and psychology Bible for any entrepreneur, any consultant, or, an agency owner who just feels stuck trading time for dollars.
Yeah, that's the trap.
It's the playbook for turning a generic, forgettable service into something magnetic, a premium product. So our mission today is laser-focused. We are extracting the actionable mathematical framework, the Grand Slam offer, that fundamentally changes the sales conversation from price comparison to undeniable value certainty.
I think that's the core struggle for so many of us, myself included. You fall into that trap of believing that the lowest price is the only lever you have.
It feels like the only option.
It does. You compete on cost, you cut corners on fulfillment, and you buy yourself a job. You end up working 100 hours a week just so you don't have to work 40. I know that life. And I signed up for entrepreneurship for something better than that exhaustion.
That commodity trade is the path to stagnation. I mean, the typical business model is not designed for profit maximization.
Not at all.
It's designed to keep you barely afloat, serving as like a low-cost, disposable resource for your clients. The Grand Slam offer is the required pivot. It is the combination of premium pricing, radical value stacking, ironclad guarantees, and compelling naming that allows a business to command premium prices and operate with enormous margins. It fundamentally changes your relationship with cash flow.
And the reason we know this framework is battle-tested is because of Hormozi's his own shocking financial backstory. It's not just theory, right? He built this entire system out of sheer desperation.
Exactly. He was effectively bankrupted by payment holds in his early days.
I remember reading that part. It was brutal.
Yeah, while running a previous venture. He recounts generating $120,000 in sales, only to check his bank balance and find, $1,036 available.
$120K in sales and only $1,000 in the bank.
Because the funds were held in processing. That is financial paralysis. He was literally looking up bankruptcy lawyers, feeling the fear and scarcity that comes from working incredibly hard for no usable reward.
The pain is very real. That switch from checking a 4-figure bank balance after massive sales to generating stable high-margin cash, that's a massive psychological leap.
It is, and that transition from total scarcity and fear to immediate high-margin profit is what this entire framework is built upon. He realized he needed a Hail Mary.
Something to change the game entirely.
An offer so compelling that it instantly established trust and value, regardless of the price. And using this exact offer framework, the methodology we're about to unpack, he launched his next business, Gym Lunch, and hit $100,117 in the first 30 days.
Wow.
The difference wasn't the market or the team, it was the framework of the offer itself. He realized the power of the offer is the ultimate form of leverage.
Okay, let's unpack this shift in philosophy. I still struggle with the high price argument. I mean, if I'm doing service work, let's say I'm a high-level marketing consultant, my clients, they expect me to charge by the hour or maybe a simple monthly retainer like everyone else.
Right, the status quo.
Yeah. If the guy next door charges $1,000 a month for lead generation, how can I justify charging $4,000 for, seemingly the same outcome? Clients will just pick the cheaper option, right?
That's the classic debilitating commodity trap. And it feels logical, but it's a dead end. Commoditization happens the moment a prospect looks at your product or service, compares it to another one, the guy next door charging $1,000, and concludes these are pretty much the same, and then they buy the cheaper one.
And everyone's price goes down.
This drives the marketplace down until the price is fixed, the margins disappear, and the business owner becomes a slave. You are stuck competing on cost, which is the fastest way to mediocrity.
So the goal is to break that direct comparison, to escape the race to the bottom by becoming incomparable.
Precisely. The Grand Slam offer fundamentally allows you to differentiate yourself from the marketplace. It forces a value-driven purchase by creating a category of one, or what Hormozi calls selling in a vacuum.
Category of one. I like that.
You wrap so much unique value around your core service that the prospect can no longer reliably compare your $4,000 package to a competitor's $1,000 retainer. The purchasing decision for the prospect is now only between your premium product and the status quo.
And the status quo is...
Doing nothing.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, though, and where I want to push back a bit. The core of the pricing philosophy. It's the idea that premium pricing is not just a smart business decision, but a moral one if you genuinely want to serve your customers well.
Yes.
That sounds great in theory, but where do I find the evidence that premium pricing is actually moral and not just, opportunistic?
It is the virtuous cycle of price, and the math supports it completely, making it a moral imperative. When you charge a premium, you are not being opportunistic. You are buying the operational freedom required to guarantee results and provide a superior customer experience.
Okay.
When you decrease your price, you decrease 3 crucial things that directly lead to poor results for the client, forcing you to underdeliver.
Okay, so let's break down those increases that happen when you charge a premium. What's the first one?
First, increased client emotional investment. Since the cost stings a little, it's a non-trivial investment, the client is forced to be focused and committed.
And more skin in the game.
Exactly. If you pay $50 for a seminar, you might skip it. If you pay $5,000, you are rearranging your calendar, you're taking detailed notes, and you're asking hard questions. Those who pay the most attention, which directly correlates to better results for them.
So you're increasing their likelihood of success just by raising the barrier to entry.
100%.
Yeah.
You are. But what about the perceived value? That's the second part.
Right.
Higher perceived value. We are hardwired to associate high price with high quality. This isn't just theory, it's an observed psychological phenomenon.
Yeah.
Hormozi references the classic blind taste test anecdote.
The wine one.
The wine one, yeah. Consumers rated the exact same bottle of wine as tasting better and being higher quality simply because they were told the price was higher. High price literally enhances the value received by the consumer because it alters their expectations and experience.
The psychology is undeniable. I mean, we associate a bespoke $40,000 marketing service with greater inherent value, expertise, and seriousness than a $500 one. It's a signal to the market.
It's a huge signal.
Okay.
And third, and this is the most important for long-term delivery, profit as oxygen. Profit is the lifeblood for growth and quality control.
It's what lets you build a real business.
More profit allows you to invest substantially in better systems, hire specialized in-house talent instead of cheap, outsourced virtual assistants, and dramatically improve the customer experience. When you sell cheap, there's no money left over to make anything exceptional.
You can't afford the best software, the bespoke resources, or the emergency support.
Not a chance. So if you charge $4,000 instead of $1,000, that extra $3,000 goes into hiring a specialist copywriter, investing in AI automation tools, or providing 24/7 chat support.
All of which increase the client's probability of success.
Exactly. You are using profit as a weapon to destroy the denominator of the value equation, which we'll get to shortly. And crucially, the high price acts as a filter.
That's the part that appeals to my sanity.
Right. High prices filter out the cheap clients who complain the most, who demand infinite hours, and are usually resistant to the work required. It attracts the highest quality customers.
The ones who are easier to satisfy.
And are already serious about the outcome, and they trust your expertise because of the price tag. When you sell cheap, you attract armies of average businesses who are also racing to the bottom, and you inevitably fall in line with their low expectations and thin margins.
Okay, so before we move on to building the mechanics of value, the actual offer stack, we have to make sure we're selling to the right audience.
Yes. This is non-negotiable. Hormozi puts the order of importance like this. Starving crowd is greater than offer strength. Who's greater than persuasion skills. The strongest, most valuable Grand Slam offer in the world will fall on deaf ears in a bad market.
You'll still struggle to sell it.
You will. So we agree premium pricing is mandatory. But you mentioned something key earlier. The best offer in the world fails if the market is wrong. How do we ensure we're selling to a starving crowd, not just a curious one?
We're not trying to create demand.
No, we are channeling existing intense demand. We're looking for the hot dog stand suddenly surrounded by a mob of people who haven't eaten in 12 hours. We look for 4 key market indicators. First, massive pain.
The pain has to be real.
The degree of pain is proportional to the price you can charge. The deeper the pain, the more urgent the need for relief. The pain is the pitch. If they don't desperately need it, Or if the lack of a solution is merely an inconvenience, you can't charge a premium. You have to be solving a burning, costly problem.
What if I'm romantic about my current niche? Maybe I love working with struggling nonprofits, but they don't seem to be acting with financial urgency, even though the need is technically there.
Then you must check the second, non-negotiable indicator. Purchasing power. Ensure the audience can actually afford the premium price. Massive pain plus zero purchasing power equals a charity case, not a business.
Right.
Hormozi shared the story of his friend who tried to sell resume services to unemployed job seekers.
Massive pain.
Zero purchasing power. That market simply cannot afford the premium price that justifies your time. He needed to pivot to a group that could afford services at scale, like marketing services to affluent seniors planning their estates, or B2B software for VC-backed startups. The key is finding the pain where the money resides.
And beyond the money, we also need to make sure the market is easy to target. They have to be gathered in a recognizable location, either physically or digitally.
Absolutely. You need efficient channels to reach them. If your ideal customer is diffused across thousands of obscure subreddits, it costs you immense effort, a denominator killer, to acquire them.
That's a great point.
The easiest markets are those where the audience is concentrated, perhaps in specific industry associations or professional social media groups or even specific geographic regions. We need clear lines of sight.
And finally, that the market is growing. Look for tailwinds, not headwinds.
You have to avoid markets like his friend who was fighting a losing battle selling software to shrinking newspapers. When a market is in decline, everyone is desperate, competing on price and cutting costs. You want one of the three main markets that always exist and are always growing.
Health, wealth, and relationships.
Those are the big three. If the market is shrinking, nothing in this book will save you. You're fighting entropy.
This leads directly into the riches in niches concept, which provides that massive 100x multiplier effect. But isn't niching down scary? If I focus on just power tools and gardening sales reps, am I not drastically limiting my total addressable market?
How does the 100x multiplier outweigh that risk?
Yeah.
That is the fear of the commodity seller, but it's mathematically flawed. Niching doesn't limit your potential revenue. It dramatically increases your pricing power and reduces your marketing costs.
Okay, explain that.
Niching down radically increases how much you can charge for the same core intellectual property. Look at a generic $19 time management course.
Right, a total commodity.
It's a commodity sold to millions of people for tiny margins. The total addressable market is huge, but your pricing leverage is zero.
But if we imply specificity...
If you target time management for B2B outbound power tools and gardening sales reps, suddenly the same foundational training, content prioritization, calendar blocking, energy management can be priced at $1,000 to $2,000.
Why? What's the change?
Because the messaging speaks directly to that avatar's specific professional high-paying goal. You aren't selling time management anymore.
You're selling increased sales commission.
Exactly. A single $5,000 sale they make justifies your high price tag many times over. The perception is, this is made exactly for me, and it will deliver a predictable return on investment. You have traded market breadth for pricing depth.
And the latter is where the profit lies.
That specificity, that niche, unlocks the premium price and the 100x leverage. You are selling density, not volume.
Okay, so having established the right market and the philosophy of premium pricing as a moral imperative, let's get into the holy grail, the value equation.
This is it. This is the repeatable mathematical formula that quantifies value for any offer. If you understand how to manipulate these four variables, you can charge heinous amounts of money while still providing a steal for the client.
Making them feel stupid saying no.
That's the one. So the equation is value equals dream outcome times perceived likelihood of achievement, all divided by time delay times effort and sacrifice.
This formula is the core intellectual property of the Grand Slam offer. It's elegant because it shows exactly which levers we need to pull. We are manipulating four variables, 2 to increase the numerator and 2 to decrease the denominator.
Let's start with a numerator, which focuses on desires and certainty. First, dream outcome. This is the client's ultimate, deepest aspirational desire. They don't just want lead generation. They want $5 million in profit. They don't just want to lose weight. They want a six-pack and the status that comes with it.
And this outcome is often status-driven, not just logical or financial.
Precisely. We channel existing desire. We don't create it. This is why connecting the outcome to status is so important. Think about the Russell Brunson anecdote.
With the minivan.
Yeah, his wife preferred the minivan because it increased her status and acceptance among her mom friends, whereas a Lamborghini would decrease it. You must understand what status means to your specific avatar and frame your dream outcome around that. Is it respect from peers? Freedom from their boss? A six-figure income?
Okay, the second variable in the numerator. Perceived likelihood of achievement. People pay for certainty. This is the client asking themselves, how likely do I believe it is that I will achieve this result if I make this purchase from this provider?
Use the surgeon example. If you need a difficult, complex surgery, the procedure itself, the desired outcome, is identical regardless of the doctor. But how much more would you pay to be the plastic surgeon's 10,000th patient versus their first?
Oh, a lot more.
A lot more. The price dramatically alters based on the perceived certainty of success.
The service is identical, but your perceived likelihood of survival or success dramatically alters the price you are willing to pay. In business, this translates to social proof, testimonials, and rock-solid internal systems that remove variability.
Increasing a prospect's conviction that your offer will actually work for them makes your offer dramatically more valuable, even if the core intellectual property is the same. We increase this through strong messaging, overwhelming social proof.
Case studies specific to their niche.
Yes, and most critically, the guarantees we will discuss later.
Now for the denominator, which you identified as the critical focus area where the real money is made, especially for service businesses that are traditionally high effort.
The money is made by ruthlessly crushing the bottom half of the equation. Why is this a division equation? Because if you can reduce the bottom part-time delay and effort and sacrifice to zero, the value mathematically approaches infinity.
Right.
We aim to take away all the pain points that typically accompany the journey to the dream outcome.
Let's focus on time delay. This is the time between purchase and receiving the promised benefit. Hormozi's mantra is clear: fast beats free.
People will always pay for speed. We see it everywhere. Paying $50 at the MVD versus waiting hours at the DMV. Paying for FedEx priority over standard mail.
Uber versus walking.
Exactly. But for a service business, time delay isn't just literal speed of the outcome. It's perceived speed, immediate friction removal. For a B2B consulting agency, this means implementing a 24-hour response SLA.
A service level agreement.
Right. Or delivering a quick win component within the first 48 hours, like a high-impact audit or a template they can use immediately to manage client anxiety and demonstrate momentum.
That immediately cuts the perception of waiting forever for results. It psychologically reduces the time delay.
It does. And remember the London Tube System example. They achieved massive value increases by simply adding dotted maps that showed the arrival time, reducing the rider's perception of waiting time without physically speeding up the trains.
That was a low-cost psychological reduction of the denominator that increased customer satisfaction immediately.
Totally. And the final, often overlooked variable: effort and sacrifice. This includes all ancillary costs, both tangible, like travel time or money spent on new tools, and intangible.
Stress, confusion, emotional pain, self-doubt.
All of it. The goal is to make the experience so seamless that the client feels like they are being carried effortlessly to the result. You, the skeptical host speaker, asked, how can I make a gym membership effortless?
Right. It takes massive, miserable effort.
Now look at the liposuction versus gym comparison, which is the perfect parallel. The ultimate dream outcome is similar, a desired physique. But liposuction commands a $25,000 premium because it ruthlessly destroys the denominator.
Okay, how?
The time commitment is 1 day instead of 12 months. The risk of failure due to adherence is 0, and the long-term effort is minimal.
A gym membership requires me to drive there, choose my workout, clean up, drive back, calculate my diet, meal prep, and fight willpower every single day. That's huge effort and sacrifice.
And the plastic surgeon's marketing literally addresses the gym's high denominator. Tired of wasting countless hours in the gym, no more restrictive diets.
They're hitting the effort and sacrifice lever.
Justifying the 100x price difference for the same outcome. When you build your offer, you must itemize every piece of friction your client typically faces and proactively remove it.
So we're constantly striving toward this infinity principle. We're aiming for the hypothetical limit. If you click buy on a weight loss product and instantly see a six-pack, you have achieved infinite value.
That's the mindset. While that is impossible, that's the mathematical mindset we must apply to every component of our service delivery.
And as the London Tube and our quick win B2B examples showed, perception is reality. The perceived reduction in time and effort is what matters most to the buyer. If they feel the process is easy, they will pay a premium.
Absolutely. This drives us towards seeking psychological solutions over logical ones. Logical solutions like making the manufacturing process 10 times faster or hiring 100 more employees are often prohibitively expensive or already solved by the market leaders. You're competing against massive economies of scale.
But adding floor-to-ceiling mirrors to the slow elevator to distract people so they forget how long they were on it, that's a low-cost, high-leverage psychological solution.
It dramatically reduces the perceived sacrifice. Entrepreneurs are rewarded for divergent thinking, especially when reducing the denominator. If you sell software onboarding, don't focus on making the software 10% faster.
What do you do instead?
Focus on providing a pre-configured template library specific to their industry, which reduces effort. Or a white glove setup service, which reduces effort to zero. We must look at the problem from the customer's point of view and ask, what small, low-cost thing can I add that crushes their biggest piece of effort or perceived time delay?
Now that we know the inputs increase the dream, increase the certainty, crush the time and effort, let's build the Grand Slam offer using the 5-step framework. The structure starts with identifying the dream outcome, like generate 20 qualified leads in 6 weeks.
Step 2 is critical. List all problems. Think about pre, during, and post-service friction using the 4 value drivers. For a B2B lead generation client, this means friction in defining the target market, crafting the messaging,
Setting up the pracking, managing the pipeline.
hiring the staff to close the leads. You need to end up with 30 to 60 possible problems. Hormozi found that if only one need is missing in a solution, it can cause someone not to buy. You must resolve every obstacle along the journey.
It's essentially auditing every touch point where the client has to think, decide, or act, and turning those roadblocks into solutions.
Exactly. Step 3 is the solutions list, turning those friction points into solution-oriented language. If the problem is writing good email copy is hard and slow, the solution becomes access to our proven 5-stage outreach script library.
And step 4 is identifying the delivery vehicles, the how. This is where we apply the delivery cheat codes. We compare what it would cost us to deliver the solution versus the perceived value it delivers to the client.
Instead of expensive one-on-one solutions like, we will write all your copy for you every week, we brainstorm low-cost, high-value one-to-many assets.
Like the script library.
For instance, creating the 5-stage script library takes high initial effort, but the cost of fulfillment afterward is zero. Other examples include pre-built software templates, video walkthroughs of complex setups, or a weekly group Q&A instead of daily one-on-one calls.
These repeatable assets become the bedrock of the business. Then comes the trim and stack.
Trimming. We ruthlessly eliminate high-cost, low-value items. If weekly 1-hour check-in calls cost you 20 hours a week for minimal client benefit, cut them. Stacking. We focus on assembling the high-value, low-cost assets like the pre-built templates, cheat sheets, and checklists into a compelling bundle.
So by the time we assemble the final bundle, using the B2B lead generation example, the collection of low-friction solutions, guides, and accountability systems totals a theoretical perceived value of, say, $25,000 for a $4,997 price tag?
Exactly. That immense price-to-value discrepancy creates the feel stupid saying no conviction. It creates instant conviction because the client immediately recognizes the staggering ROI. And we have to acknowledge the sales-to-fulfillment continuum.
Okay, what's that?
Initially, when creating your first offer, you must deliberately over-deliver like crazy, accepting high fulfillment cost to gather cash flow and testimonials.
How long does that crazy over-delivery phase typically last? How do I know when I can transition to the efficient system? Because that high fulfillment cost can crush a new business.
It lasts until you have enough undeniable proof, specifically video testimonials and detailed case studies, to justify the premium price purely based on the perceived likelihood of achievement. For many, that means intentionally overserving the first 10 to 15 clients.
You're not trying to be profitable on those first few sales.
No, you're buying proof.
Yeah.
Once you have that proof, you can systematically remove the high-cost, time-intensive fulfillment items, the one-on-ones, and replace them with the scalable, automated assets, the templates and video libraries we just stacked. The goal is always to ensure the prospect feels they got a massive deal, even at the highest price.
Okay, let's talk about annihilating the number one objection, which is risk. I know the standard entrepreneur fear. If I offer a massive, unconditional money-back guarantee, won't everyone just rip me off and demand free service?
That is the emotional response that keeps most businesses stuck in the commodity trap. But the math proves it is a baseless fear and a profit killer. The increase in sales far outweighs the few refunds.
Run the numbers for me.
Let's do it. If your week, no guarantee offer closes 100 people with a standard market average 5% refund rate, you net 95 sales.
Okay, 95 net sales, and I keep all the cash immediately.
Now, if you implement a massive risk-reversing guarantee, say a conditional double your money back guarantee, it generates immense confidence. Your sales jump to 130 people, but your refund rate, because the guarantee is so aggressive, doubles to 10%. That's 13 refunds.
So you still net 117 sales.
Yes. Even with double the number of people refunding, the strong guarantee generated 22 more net sales, which is a 23% increase in net revenue. The guarantee acts as a sales accelerator.
It's just a numbers game.
Don't be emotional. Do the math. The mandate is clear. Reverse the risk. If they don't get the result, you pay them. If you are good, you will be rich. If you suck, you will go broke. Be good. You shift the entire burden of failure onto your business. If you genuinely believe in your Grand Slam offer, the guarantee should be terrifyingly easy to write.
Okay, let's examine the 4 types of guarantees that give the offer teeth, moving beyond just 30 days money back. A guarantee needs teeth, a consequence if the result isn't achieved.
First, we have unconditional guarantees. Simple, no questions asked, money back. These are best for lower ticket or B2C digital products where the customer often won't bother with the refund process unless they are truly unhappy. It just removes that tiny hurdle of purchase friction immediately.
But for my $5,000 B2B service, I can't just offer an unconditional guarantee. What if they steal my templates and ask for a refund?
That's where conditional guarantees come in. These are the most powerful for high-ticket services because they require the client to meet key consumption steps. This is essential to align incentives and filter out those who aren't serious.
Okay, an example.
The service guarantee is powerful. We keep working for you free of charge until X KPI is achieved, provided you attended 90% of all calls, submitted all required data, and executed the strategy.
That perfectly aligns incentives. If the client does the work, which is usually the biggest point of failure in any service, they get the result, regardless of how long it takes. And I'm protected from lazy clients trying to get a free ride.
The contract language must be crystal clear on those conditions. You are guaranteeing your process, provided they follow it. Third is the outsized refund guarantee. This is shocking and drives massive conviction by demonstrating extreme confidence.
You mean offering double or triple the money back?
Exactly.
That sounds insane. If I charge $10,000, I might have to refund $30,000.
You might. But consider the affiliate marketer Hormozi referenced, who generated $3 million in sales from a single offer by guaranteeing he would buy the client's business for $25,000 if they didn't hit a certain profit milestone. The sheer audacity of that offer reduced the perceived risk to zero. People thought, if this guy is willing to bet $25K on my success, he must be certain. That type of risk reversal is a high-leverage sales tool.
And finally, the implied guarantee, or just calling attention to a conditional industry standard promise.
Yes. For example, if you are a consulting firm selling financial auditing services, the result is that the audit will meet regulatory standards. You don't necessarily need a cash guarantee, but you need to state clearly, we guarantee 100% compliance, or we pay the fees associated with the resubmission. You need to take ownership of the failure, not just the success.
Okay, so once the risk is gone, we enhance the offer further with scarcity and urgency, FOMO triggers.
To enhance the offer further and push the hesitant prospect across the finish line, we employ psychological levers that activate the fear of missing out, or FOMO. We need to manufacture a reason to buy now, not later. Scarcity is a function of quantity, and urgency is a function of time.
The Hormozi law is key here. The longer you delay the ask, the bigger the ask you can make. We need to keep supply under demand to keep the desire ravenous.
For scarcity, which is quantity, the goal is ethical scarcity, meaning it must be tied to a real operational constraint. We use limited supply of slots like only accepting 25 new clients total this quarter, which ties into your fulfillment capacity.
Or growth rate cap.
Right. Only accepting 5 new clients per week. This prevents burnout and ensures quality delivery, thus protecting the perceived likelihood of achievement.
This sounds simple, but the tactical advantage is huge. You must always ensure you sell out and then publicly share that you sold out.
Yes, this is critical. If you run ads to an open offer, people assume supply is infinite. If you run ads for a week, cap it at 10 new clients, announce we're officially sold out until the next cohort, you create compounding desire. People look at a sold out list and think, I missed out, I need to be ready for the next one.
And for urgency, which is time, Deadlines drive decisions. How do we create time pressure without resorting to a fake countdown timer on a landing page?
You leverage operational reality. Use cohort-based urgency. This creates a natural operational rhythm. If you sign up today, you start Monday. Otherwise, you have to wait 2 weeks for the next intake.
That uses the inherent desire for speed, reducing time delay.
To drive immediate action, you can also use rolling seasonal urgency, such as our Q3 sales mastery intensive ends September 30th, giving the promotion a real start and finish time, rotating names every quarter.
And if you don't want to change the price or core service, you put the urgency on the bonus itself.
The pricing bonus urgency puts a deadline on the bonus offer or a price increase, rather than the core service. You are rewarding immediate action. For example, if you sign up by midnight Friday, you get the $3,000 executive dashboard template free. After that, it's not available. You nudge those on the fence to buy now before the added value, the stack disappears.
Okay, let's talk more about that stack. We established the cardinal rule, never discount the core offer. We only add bonuses. Tell us again why discounting is a deadly sin.
Discounting cheapens the core value of the product itself, essentially telling the client the normal price wasn't worth it. Bonuses, however, expand the price-to-value discrepancy dramatically. Psychologically, if the value of the bonuses eclipses the value of the core product, if the stack is valued at $10,000 for a $2,000 price, the buyer subconsciously assumes the core product must be immensely valuable if these extras are given away for free.
So all the stack deliverables from our trim and stack process, the templates, the checklists, the quick win guides, are presented as bonuses one by one. And when selling one-on-one, you hold the bonus until the first rejection.
Exactly. You ask for the sale first, assuming the core offer is enough. If they object, saying perhaps the price is too high or they are worried about a specific piece of the fulfillment, you introduce a bonus that directly addresses their specific obstacle. Then ask again.
Fair.
Fair enough. It allows you to tailor the irresistible part of the offer in real time.
Let's talk about advanced level bonuses through affiliate partnerships. Why would a chiropractor or a business lawyer give me free services to add to my pain clinic's offer or my consulting agency's offer?
Because they get free, high-quality exposure to your paying clients who have already demonstrated purchasing power. Let's say you run a business coaching program for scaling agencies. You partner with an HR consultant. The HR consultant is happy to offer a free 3-hour talent acquisition audit because their marginal cost for that time might be low.
But the value of getting in front of a qualified, scaling, paying agency owner is high.
Very high. They are non-competing, and they know the client you send them is a serious buyer. So they trade their service for exposure to a high-quality lead.
So they trade their service, low marginal cost to them, for access to your qualified customer base, high lifetime value to them.
Precisely. And this creates the profit multiplier.
Okay, let's break down that multiplier because that's where the high margin wealth is generated.
If your $4,000 coaching offer includes $3,500 worth of external services, like the HR audit, a specialized software subscription, and legal template access, your perceived value skyrockets, justifying your premium price. But you negotiate a referral fee.
So if the HR consultant pays me 10% for every client I send, and I send 20 clients a month,
that's immediate passive revenue. So not only does the perceived value increase exponentially, justifying your premium price, but the referral fees can potentially pay for your entire customer acquisition cost.
You are generating new revenue streams from the value stack you built, turning a cost center into a profit center. That's true leverage.
The final touch. Naming the offer. We aren't changing the underlying Grand Slam offer structure. We're just changing the wrapping paper to prevent offer fatigue and increase market resonance. A tired, generic offer name dies, regardless of the value inside.
And the importance is paramount because a good name attracts the ideal prospect and gives your marketing new life. We use the MAGIC formula as a structure for maximum impact.
M is for magnetic reason why. This is the hook. Free, 88% off, grand opening, special invitation. It gives them a reason to click now.
A is for avatar. This drives specificity. Lakeway moms, salon owners, B2B saws, founders. It screams, this is for you.
G is for goal. The desired outcome tied directly to status. Celebrity smile, double your profit, quit your 9-to-5.
I is for interval. Time delay is a denominator killer, so use a clear, specific time frame. 6 weeks, 42 days, 90 days.
And C is for container. This provides structure and novelty, challenge, blueprint, intensive workshop, accelerator.
Okay, let's dissect a bad name versus a good one using this formula. A bad name. Our summer offer, it hits none of the magic variables. It's generic, non-urgent, and outcomeless.
Now, a good name. Free 6-week Lean by Halloween challenge.
Okay.
M is free, A is implied, G is Lean by Halloween, I is 6 weeks, C is challenge. The specificity and promise are contained right in the name, making it instantly more compelling than a generic gym membership or summer offer. The name itself reduces the perceived effort of clicking the button.
That structural framework ensures the offer remains evergreen. You can keep the core Grand Slam components the same, but simply rotate the M, G, and I variables, changing the wrapper to keep the offer fresh every quarter.
Exactly.
So let's quickly review the comprehensive components of the Grand Slam offer we just distilled. It begins with the belief in a premium price built on the value equation framework, bolstered by a massive Grand Slam stack of deliverables, and finalized with the obliteration of risk through risk reversal and strong guarantees.
That holistic approach transforms a business from selling time to selling guaranteed outcomes, allowing you to scale without crashing into the commodity floor. We talked about Hormozi's first $100,000 moment, the feeling of utter relief that came from successfully implementing this framework.
Transitioning his life from fear and scarcity to financial security and abundance.
That confidence knowing your system works and is worth every penny is the ultimate reward of building a Grand Slam offer.
So, what does this all mean for the listener right now? How do they begin auditing their own service offering based on this math?
Look at your product, whatever it is, a coaching service, a digital product, a consulting retainer. Don't touch the product itself. Go straight to the denominator of the value equation. That is where you have the most leverage and the least competition.
So ask 2 questions.
2 relentless questions. How can I make the result happen faster? And how can I remove effort?
Focus entirely on crushing time delay and effort and sacrifice.
If your standard client sees the journey as a 3-month process requiring weekly homework, how can you reduce that perception to 3 days of intensive setup? If you can turn a 3-month process into a 3-day rapid implementation phase, you can double your price today, ethically.
Wow.
If you're ready to audit your offer and remove the friction, comment Grand Slam wherever you are listening.
I'm raising my prices tomorrow.
Don't just raise the price. Raise the value first, focusing on crushing that denominator. Then the price becomes irrelevant. Subscribe to Wealth Distilled.